Okay, eighth graders, we're going to go over 6-3. Starts on page 341 in your first book. This is really tricky, and I'm going to just go over the basics. I am not expecting you to master this, just to get the idea. So next year and the year after, when you're in high school and have to look at doing this kind of stuff, it doesn't just blow your mind. You've seen a little bit of it before. It's called solving systems of equation by substitution. What they're going to do, and remember, you can go online and check out these things that have interactive stuff. Feel free. But basically, you're given two linear equations, and you have to plug in one to solve for the coordinates. What does that mean? Well, you're given two things. Here's a y equals mx plus b, right? Another y equals mx plus b. But it's not, mx, there's a number in front of the x for both of these. And this one, it's not even a plus b, it's a minus 7. So that would be -7 for the y-intercept and +5 for that y-intercept. What you're doing is you're taking one of these, and then it doesn't matter which one you start with. I don't care. Pick whatever one you want. You start with one, and you plug it in. When you're done, you get what one of the letters means. Typically, you'll get what x means. And then in the next page, you'll then take that answer and you will then plug it into the next equation, to that other equation that you did not choose to do first, and you will solve and get a y. And now all of a sudden you have the coordinates, 6, 17. That means your coordinate for x, look, was 6. Look. 6 right there, and then y is right there. That's the main point of this. And yeah, that's really tricky. We're going to walk through it. I'm going to do a couple steps here. The first one, I'm going to grab my pen. They give you two y equals mx plus b's. This one you're like, but wait, there's no plus b, there's no y-intercept. Remember, that means it's 0. So you have two of these. Since y is equal to 2x, and y is also equal to x minus 3. So they just started with this one. You can start with the other, I don't care. Replace the y with 2x in the other equation. So they're taking this one and they're going to plug it. Oh, can I go backwards? Sorry. If you hear shouting in the background, my husband and kids are playing Mario Kart, so I'm sorry. Oh man, it's always loud here. So you take this and you're plugging it in to where the y is over here. So what does that mean? Sorry, it's blurry, goodness gracious. So it's gonna look like this. See, y equals x minus 3, y equals 2x. So they're taking that 2x and putting it where that y is instead of y, because y equals 2x. Okay, you could reverse it and have it be y equals x minus 3 and then the 2x also, but they started with this one. It does not matter. You go through the steps. Okay, if 2x equals x minus 3, well, we have to combine those variables. So you're going to combine what you can. Remember, that's simplifying. So in this case, they took the x and wanted to get it to the same side. They took this one and went over here. You could do it the other way and then move that. Doesn't matter. You'll get the same answer if you do it correctly. So they took x and they minused x on each side. This cancels each other out and leaves just that -3. What's 2x minus that 1x? Remember, it's minus because that's a positive, so the opposite is minus the negative symbol. You get just 1x. See, 2x minus 1x, what's 1x? But you don't put the 1 in front of it. You just write it as is. So x is -3. That means we have our coordinate. When we plot it on a plane, so -3. There's that -3 there. That will fit in here. Now you do step 2, which is now taking that answer you just got and plugging it into the one you did not use at first. So the one we didn't use was the, here, sorry, it's getting blurry again. Okay. You substitute the -3 for x in either equation to find the value of y. So you can put it in anyone. You can put it in here, you can put it in there. It does not matter. But I like doing the opposite one because it keeps it simpler but you don't have to. You can just plug it in to either one. They chose to go with the same one they started with. I would have gone the other way, but it does not matter because you'll see you get the same one. So x minus 3, well, we know what x is, -3. So you plug it in. So instead of just y equals x minus 3, it's y equals -3 minus 3. Well, what's minus a -3 minus 3? You spent $3, then you spent 3 more. How much came out of your account? $6, and the negative sign because you spent, so it's -6. If you were to take this and plug it into the other one, what's 2? And then what is x? -3. 2 times a -3. 2 times 3 is 6. A positive times a negative is a negative. So it's still -6. See, it works either way. I just like to do the opposite, so I keep rolling. Now you have both of these. X and Y, this is a coordinate. If you're going to plot this point on a graph, here's your 0, 0, -3, 1, 2, 3, -6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to be about over here. All right? So that's how you do this part. Over here, you would plug in this here. So I'm going to do this real fast. We can take this Y and put it over here. So let's do 3x, because this is what Y is. So we're going to put that where the Y goes. Y equals -6 plus x. So now you've seen we have taken this, because it says Y equals this. We're going to put it in over there. You could switch it around. I don't care. All right, now what do you got to do? We got to combine the x's, because those can be combined, right? So I'm going to take a blue pen. And I'm just going to get this x over here, because it's a faster way, because then we'd have to get this -6 over there. So we're just going to go opposite of plus is minus x on both sides of the equal sign. That cancels each other out. Now we have 3x minus 1x. What's 3 minus 1? It's +2. Keep the x. Sorry, my pen started to die there. Equals -6, okay? So we can see that we get this here. Now, we're not quite done. We still can divide this out because this is, we don't have a 1x. Remember over here, we got to what just 1x was? See, okay, that automatically got us down there. This requires an extra step. So we're gonna do the algebra dividing by that 2 on each side because it's multiplication, so you do it. The divide, x equals, what's a negative divided by a positive? A negative. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. So x is -3. All right, again, we have a -3 for our, it's a -3. All right, now we take that -3 and we're going to plug it in. We can plug it into anyone. The fastest one will be here. What's 3 times a -3? 3 times 3 is 9. A positive times a negative is a negative. So we have -9. Boom. And if they wanted you to plot that, you'd be like -3, -9, right down there. Okay? That's the first part. Is it tricky? Oh, yeah. I'm going to go do some more. This is part 1. Part 2 is coming up.